The Supreme Court today said that news reports about the Adani organization, a report that was allegedly funded by billionaire George Soros, cannot be the basis for doubting the existing probe into the Adani group on the allegations and findings in a big report that exploded a year ago from Hindenburg Research. Well, I'm here to tell you, viewer, that it looks like politics over the Adani investigation appears to be just that, politics. But I will be coming back to this in just a moment. Let's move on. Today said that news reports and a report by the OCCRP, an organization funded by billionaire George Soros, cannot be the basis for doubting SEBI's investigation into the Hindenburg case. Reacting to the Supreme Court verdict, Congress Neta Jairam Ramesh said, and I quote the Supreme Court judgment today on certain matters relating to transactions by the Adani Group has proven extraordinarily generous to the SEBI. Politics over the Adani Group has been simmering and boiling for the better part of a year. It's become one of the big election issues, whether it is the state elections or the central elections. Rahul Gandhi, Mahua Maitra, other opposition leaders have all made Adani their big fighting plank going into the elections. They have positioned themselves as warriors for justice, warriors for an anti-corruption cause, and gone against Gautam Adani. Well, here on India Today, we've always said an investigation is an absolute must. An investigation must happen at all costs, and that is what is taking place under the ambit of the Securities and Exchange Board of India. But today, viewer, comes evidence that the politics that is being played over Adani may just be that, politics, only another layer and another indicator in the form of a handshake between the newly minted Congress Chief Minister Revath Reddy and Gautam Adani's son Karan Adani in Hyderabad. So the question that arises in my mind and in the minds of a lot of people who are watching this entire Adani saga play out is, are the attacks on Adani, because Rahul Gandhi cannot take two steps without naming Adani, is it all about politics? Why is Rahul Gandhi otherwise allowing Congress chief ministers to meet with the Adani group, shake hands with them, accept their investment, clear the deck so that the company can make even more profits? Why is it that the Indy alliance has proven to be so filthily hypocritical when it comes to big business? The question is not about whether the Adani Group should be investigated or not, viewer. We are absolutely clear about that. Whether it is Hindenburg, whether it is anybody else's report, the Adani Group, like any other group in the country, should be held to investigative scrutiny at all commensurate levels, any level possible. Even the politics of it is acceptable. But when you see images of Revath Reddy shaking hands with Adani, when you see the Congress and the left fighting for credit over the Adani port in Kerala, when you see Mamta Banerjee doing namaste to Adani while discussing a deep sea port in Bengal, when you see Ashok Gehlot warmly welcoming Adani on stage at event after event in Rajasthan, when you see Bhupesh Baghel accepting Adani investment in Chhattisgarh, when you see the Adani Group now shaking hands with the newest Congress Chief Minister Revath Reddy in Telangana, one has to wonder whether it is all only about politics. How can a group of parties, the left, the Congress, the Trinamool and others who've made common cause over the issue of Adani claim to be custodians of the anti-corruption plank when their governments, their parties are happy to shake hands and rub shoulders with the Adani group? How does that work? Well, the Congress has many ways said, how can the onus be on the opposition? It's the central government that needs to take a stand, needs to take the onus, needs to take the initiative and act against it. Well, that's precisely what has happened. The Securities and Exchange Board of India is investigating the Adani group. 22 out of 24 cases have been investigated. There are 2 left. Today, the Supreme Court, the top court of the country, called many of the petitions against the SEBI investigation unsubstantiated. They refused to entertain any pleas for a special investigation team. And in one fell swoop, the Supreme Court has basically issued a slap to those who appear to be wasting its time with unsubstantiated, unresearched and shoddy public interest litigations, in effect wasting the time of the top court when India already has such a huge backlog. Well, the Supreme Court has certainly asked SEBI to complete its investigation in 3 months or less, but it has said it finds no reason to interfere with that investigation, basically upholding an investigation that is supposed to happen. But for those who are crying foul, those who are crying blue murder, those who are saying this is anyay, this is injustice, this is not correct, it should not be SEBI who should be investigating. Not only are they crying blue murder on the streets of India, but they are the ones shaking hands with the Adani group in all their states, as we've shown you in picture after picture. Revanth Reddy, Pinarayi Vijayan, Ashok Gehlot, Bhupesh Baghel, all of these leaders are happy to rub shoulders with the Adanis, but for politics, the Adani issue is kosher. That is something to really think about, viewer. And let me end once again by saying it again. The Adani group is not special. It should be subjected to every level of scrutiny that is available in the country. Do we trust our institutions, or do we simply let the politics play out just because it's election season? Because remember, the public is going to be confused. Is the opposition really in a position to suggest that corruption is happening when many of these parties themselves are the ones who actually invented crony capitalism in this country? They're the ones who created the historic nexus between big business and politics, especially around elections. Are they really in a position to now be the sort of crusaders against Adani and big business as they want to position themselves to be? Well, the public is a little smarter than that.